We're doing both.
Yep.
Right now, at this time. Like, we're both streaming and recording. That's
what's
Would you
happening.
give me my water bottle,
Listen here,
please?
you punk.
Fuck it, we're live. Go
I
ahead.
need you.
Give
I
them
need
random
you.
things.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
I need you to force power it over here.
Oh my
Just
God, I
no.
hate you so much. It's such a simple
You
request.
just need to force power it, and I would have brought it over.
All right.
Force power is my duty.
Okay.
You need to
It's not
become a
Wednesday.
Jedi. It's time for Wednesday.
Okay. It is April 28th, 2019. And
Week after
we're,
Easter.
Yeah, the week after Easter. And yeah,
That's
the week after all the other holidays.
And us not doing gaming news.
Oh no, I did gaming news without you. It's okay.
Oh shit, did you really?
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
okay.
you so much.
My co-hosts are garbage.
Can't miss a week. We got to keep on going. But yeah, I'm Astrid Aphid. I'm joined by my co-host.
Not needed.
Interesting new name.
Calabashed.
Well, I mean, you could probably retcon that.
Yeah. There we go. What have y'all been playing this week?
Nothing.
Oh, well, that's
Actually, I played Disgaea 5 for a little while. I mean, I bought it and played it for a bit, but not enough to actually form an opinion. So
I've never played the Disgaea series.
I played the first one whenever the remake came out on Steam.
What is, like, just layman terms, like, what's plot?
Okay, so in the very first one, you are playing the son of the Lord of the Underworld.
Okay.
And I don't know if he just left or he died. I can't remember. But you're playing his son, who is trying to hold on to his kingdom.
Is it, like, Final Fantasy style combat? Like,
Final Fantasy Tactics style
Okay.
combat. So it's
Cool,
very
cool.
tactical based. So
But okay, like when you say tactical based, what do you mean?
I mean, like
it's
Final
literally the
Fantasy.
Final
Because I've
Fantasy
never-
Tactics.
Well, I've never played either of those games, so it's hard for me
It's
to
very like
envision.
it's very much like Mechanicus.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
that type of battle system,
All right.
or Divinity, Total Sin. So.
Or XCOM, if you hate yourself.
Yeah, XCOM. Yeah, that's actually probably
That's that's
really
a
good.
comparison.
The best comparison.
I love and hate
Of
that
things
game
you
so
know.
fucking much.
Yeah, me too.
You only have a
95%
2% chance to miss.
Yeah,
Right?
every time.
Oh, only 13% chance to hit? Why not?
Yeah.
But I'm literally like I've only gone through the first 2 missions, so I can't really judge the
okay.
game yet.
You've just barely put your foot in the water.
You're scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And I only played the first one, and the characters in the 5th one are completely different, and I have really no idea what the story is
Oh.
right now.
So, do we know if it's a Final Fantasy thing where none of the characters reoccur, or is it like
I
no,
know-
these characters reoccur?
I know the characters recurred in like the 2nd and 3rd Disgaea,
Okay,
but I know I'm guessing something happened between
right, because everybody's
2,
different.
3, 4.
Yeah. Okay, so what have you been playing, Calabash?
I mean, a lot of Overwatch, per
Cool.
usual.
There's a new event going on, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's
Always.
new.
Well, it would have
always
been new
been.
last week, right?
I don't know, sometime. I think it was like April 15th or something.
But yeah,
That's when it started. But it's fun. I mean, a lot of the player base has been really upset because they're saying that they feel gypped by the event because the PvE portion of it is lackluster in comparison to the prior 2 events, because this is the 3rd iteration of a singular event.
okay.
Yeah, so it's really short. I mean, it's still challenging on the legendary difficulty, but
Still content.
yeah, it's still content. So, I mean, I wasn't too upset. The skins are kind of want, but most of the skins are want for me.
Until I wanted to look at those skins, we'll have to do that.
Oh, yeah, we will have to do that. But they introduced a workshop, which is
Oh, yeah, the
pretty
workshop.
cool new feature. I haven't even looked at it, but I've watched a ton of stuff on Reddit.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it later.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's in the notes.
I saw a really fun video today.
On
Yeah.
the workshop?
Yeah,
Cool.
it was somebody doing like Navi from Ocarina of Time. So
Oh
it was
my
like, hey,
God.
listen! And it's like, okay, why would you do that? You're going to make so many people kill themselves.
But yeah, and RimWorld.
Oh yeah, nice.
know.
Yeah, I haven't played Overworld since we did the LAN party.
It's
Same here.
because our colonies always die.
Yes, it's
We
very
get-
different.
We get like right to the precipice of
Yeah.
victory, like the cusp of victory. It's within our grasp, and then everything just goes to shit, like repeatedly.
It's very unique how different the game is when we're playing multiplayer versus you playing single player.
It is.
Yeah, I dig it though. I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's way better because, like, when we have a raid, 2 of us can go micro troops while one of us stays in the back and is like just takes care of the base.
Yeah, we can do so much more damage. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, he's usually the researcher, so can't have the researcher die.
Researcher/doctor, don't ever get shot at.
Yeah, both extremely important.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I've had some failures in my most recent colony. I vaguely remember rage quitting, so that seems to line up with my memory.
It happens. I guess. I haven't really been playing any video games this week, at least none that I would talk about. So
what are the ones you wouldn't talk about?
Ones that I won't talk about.
The hentai ones.
Being jumped to PlayStation 5 details. I talked a little bit about this last week when y'all weren't here, but ironically, I didn't hit the record button. So
you just broadcast and didn't record?
I streamed the PlayStation 5 details, and then I remembered, I didn't press the record button. And then I started recording, and then it was just fucking funny because, upload the YouTube video, and it's like, PlayStation 5 details. Go watch my live stream. But now that we're here, we can talk about it. Basically, there's a very weird way that they leaked the information. It wasn't Sony coming out doing a press release like they normally do at E3 or something. They actually did a conversation with a writer at Wired, and basically was like, hey, yeah, come check out our new PlayStation 5 demo copy.
So
it's an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
So is this just still considered like the next gen console? Is that terminology carrying over? Or are we going with like
middle gen?
It's not considered technically next gen, I guess.
Yeah, like what quantifies next gen now?
I was gonna say I feel like that's a whole other
whenever
discussion.
you add an extra letter or number on, or make the
well,
number bigger.
But, I mean, I guess, but
oh no, that's not true. Xbox One,
Thanks, Microsoft.
Let's put it this way: there's a leap in technology. Whether or not they want to classify as another generation, who the fuck cares?
Well, I mean, the Xbox Neo, I'm guessing, is going to be the next one.
Xbox Neo. What?
Yeah.
Xbox One. He's making puns over there.
I'm
sorry.
Anyways.
Oh my god.
You want me to get you a gun to kill me?
No.
Take me out of this world?
Yeah, do we need to get a Nerf
permanently?
Do it yourself.
He came equipped. Does he have bullets? I don't think he has bullets.
He's just shooting blanks.
But
I was like, he's gonna
that's what I was thinking.
I was
It
like,
would be
fuck.
great.
Just the world collapses on itself when Skylar dies.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine now.
Hey,
No, it's fine.
stop it.
There was one little white dot there in the corner.
Oh my god.
Somebody.
We're super proud of our ghetto green screen.
Hey,
It's not ghetto.
Oh,
Why would you use that word? Ghetto.
Because I
hey,
look
it's
back.
stop. Let's just stop. The more you fuck with it, the more it draws attention.
It's fine. He's such a perfectionist. But
Is he?
jumping back to
Really, we need
PlayStation-
you to sit in the middle properly and block that
yeah,
little
just
crack.
obstruct it a little bit better over there. But PlayStation 5 details were leaked. It's by a Wired article.
Isn't it more of an announcement rather than a leak?
Well, they didn't give you.
It's like a soft release.
They didn't give you all of the information, and
so it's a teaser.
yeah, I guess you could say. It's
Yeah, because
and most of the information that I'm going to talk about is from a leak, and it's not from the Wired article.
Okay.
The Wired
okay, yeah, that's
article-
definitely a leak.
The Wired article just confirms some of the information since they actually talked to someone at Sony, and the leak was actually published last year on.
Oh, right, on like 4chan or something. I heard about that.
It was on Pastebin, but I mean,
Okay.
random. Pastebin is basically a way to just dump information and no one know who created it.
Okay.
So if you were going to leak information, that's the way you do it, so no one can verify who you are. But it also means that it can also be super questionable. It could be a competitor, or it could just be someone who has way too much free time. However,
falsified.
yeah, now that we have the Wired article and some of it's been verified, it looks super realistic.
Huh.
In the Wired article, they talked about there is going to be a AMD Ryzen for the CPU. It is the 3rd gen of Ryzen, and it is an 8-core. Most people would be like, "Oh, wow, an 8-core." I believe the PlayStation 4 actually currently has an 8-core. And the way they're getting away with this is they're all mobile processors. It's not like the awesome new Ryzen with all the extra cores.
I wonder how.
They haven't listed the gigahertz, and so that's the other thing is, the amount of processing and speed is usually dependent on the amount of gigahertz. So, for example, a processor from 5 to 8 years ago, 3 gigahertz is a standard for a desktop computer. For the mobile processors, though, they're at 1.5 to 2. So they're substantially slower, but the trade-off there is you don't have to do all of the cooling once it heats up. Our cell phones do get a little toasty, but it's not going to give you a 3rd-degree burn. It doesn't have to have a giant heat sink, and it doesn't have to have, 4 case fans. So there's the trade-off there, and that's kind of why they're using the...
have some big-ass fans, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of why they're using the
fans.
mobile processor, though, is that they don't have to deal with all of that heating issues.
Cheaper.
That as well, substantially.
Because it always, for the longest time, because I never knew, the components that made up an Xbox. I never, thought to actually look. But I always wondered, how the fuck are these profitable? How do they make money on these?
Yep.
The games.
Yeah, they don't make money on the consoles.
That's definitely a thing. They talked about the PlayStation 5 will support up to 8K resolution. That's one of those things where I'm sure at the end of its lifespan there will be developers that are making 8K games, but seeing how almost nobody has a 4K TV right now, or at least a very small percentage of the population, especially that's gaming, I don't think anybody expects a developer to come out with an 8K game, because then you would have to have an 8K TV.
Yeah.
And we're talking about $5,000+.
Yeah, so. If it was any of the console creators, it'd be Sony who would be making that television.
Yeah, for real. Sony definitely has a vested interest in that. The Wired article talks in depth about this new state-of-the-art solid-state drive. Solid-state drives are ridiculously complicated. If you were going to review a piece of hardware that was in a computer and you wanted to know what the hardest thing was to review, it would be a solid-state drive, because there's no moving parts, and so you just actually have to understand the technology, how the hard drive operates and how it reads and writes in order to review the entire thing. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on solid-state drives. I got a $30 fucking Kingston off of Amazon. I just know it's fucking faster. But they talked 2 fucking paragraphs in this Wired article about how happy they are with this solid state drive. And long story short, it's kind of just misinformation. The person interviewing him and doesn't really know anything about solid state drives, and you can't blame them. And of course, the Sony guy, his job is to hype everything up. But long story short, it's a faster solid state drive, and it's faster because it's newer. If you think about when the PlayStation 4 came out and when the PlayStation 5 is going to come out, multiple years have passed, so the amount of speed for solid-state drives have improved greatly. How much, you ask? 19 times faster.
Oh, that's a
substantial
number
amount.
that is larger than 5.
Yep. So what they specifically talked about is the load time for Spider-Man, originally on the console, was 19 seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. PS4 released in November 15th, 2013, and this is releasing November 2020.
Yep.
So 7-year lifespan?
Yep.
Is that the lifespan of the original?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there are 5. I think these have actually been extended longer than what most people
expected
would be standardized, and that's why they came out with the half-ass upgraded versions of Xbox and PlayStation.
I do remember that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
They even did that with the one recently. Oh, I guess that's how I should have known that the one was reaching the end of its lifespan. And that.
Yep, because you got to support the higher resolutions,
yeah.
And they're just barely
slightly
being able
beefier
to.
model.
Yeah. But sort of just geeking out about the solid state drives real quick. They claim it's a custom input-output processing speed, meaning that they're like manipulating the software that's determining how it reads and writes. If they're doing that, awesome. But it's not like it's the fastest solid state drive. One of the things that we have now is NVMe, which is the actual card slot that you would put a solid state drive in. It sort of looks like a tiny small PCI slot that you'd put like a graphics or network card in, but it's just meant for a solid state. And the reason why that's better is because it's directly plugged into the fucking motherboard. You're not plugging in like a SATA cable, it's literally just embedded in there.
I live here now.
Yeah, so it's way faster, and that's not what they're doing. They're probably still have a SATA drive in there, but it is faster because it's it's a modern day fucking solid state drive. If you want to go way over the top, there's actually Optane, which is like $1,000 fucking solid state drives that are like 1.5 terabytes worth of solid state. That's something to be fucking impressed about if you're talking about a solid state drive. Them putting in a modern solid state drive and claiming it's 19 times faster, it's going to be faster than the older model, and it better be substantially faster because 7 fucking years have passed, right?
Right.
But the hard drive that's in it is supposed to be 2 terabytes. That is
not bad.
Yeah, that is going to be, I assume, separate than the actual solid state drive. The hard drive will be for basically burning your digital games onto there.
Yeah.
And I assume the solid state is actually going to work as an intermediate to write the data in between. Maybe you'll be able to pick games that stay on your solid state, but if you think about like the way a computer works, most people just have a solid state for their operating system because that's where all the read and writes are going.
Yep, that's what I have.
Yep, it might exactly be the same thing for the PlayStation. 2 terabytes of hard drive space should be plenty though.
Yeah, I mean that's a chunk.
Yeah.
But it also depends, like, because I know our roommate, he has not only games, but movies, music, tons of other media content on there. So I can see how you could fill up 2 terabytes, I mean, not quickly, but you could do it.
I was going to say, because even if you're talking about games, which games are bigger than movies.
Yeah, they're huge.
Unless you're doing, like, 4K footage or something, but the games can be, like, 50 gigabytes, right? And it's like, okay, well, you're still talking about having like 40 fucking games on there.
Yeah.
Permanently, like, digitally saved on there. Like, there's still disk in these PlayStation 5s. Like, you don't have to actually burn it onto the hard drive. But
it's just going to make it run faster.
It's just, it's super convenient, too. Who the fuck wants to go find the CD when they can just instant boot up with a shortcut?
Yeah, Games X or whatever the equivalent of A is.
So in this paste bin, they basically assume that the release date will be between March and November of 2020, i.e. right before Christmas, because it makes sense. That's the best time to get everybody amped up for the holidays, is to buy your new console. They think that they're going to sell it at $500 with a loss of $100, meaning that they would literally have to make $100 profit from someone using their live services or by buying additional physical copies of games before they broke even. Not even to make a profit, but... And it's like, if you imagine, say, and this is unrealistic, but say they make $20 off of an individual $60 game. Sony doesn't, but let's just say that. Okay, well, they would have to buy 5 games just to break even.
Right, they're gambling on people keeping this around for
a very long time, and that definitely shows. If they're talking about they're willing to take $100 loss, and they basically believe that $500 price margin is the breaking point for the bulk majority of people, meaning that a lot of them would accept $500. It's something that they could save for. But the moment you go to like 600 or something, they're just like, no, it's not worth it. Like, it's way too much. And honestly, I think $500 is too much for a console. I'm not a big console fan, so I have a completely different perspective. PC Master Race kind of guy.
Yeah, it's built on a computer.
Yeah, like I can't fathom spending $500-$600 on a console, where it's just like, yeah, and you only get to play these games. And Sony will be doing the same thing, where the games that you'll want to play, the only reason they'll be on PlayStation is because there's an exclusivity deal.
Yep.
So
Sony knows how to win this market.
yeah,
Like, they figured it out, and
which makes you wonder what's going to happen to Microsoft. They're not doing so hot in the
their division
console
might be
race.
closed.
I mean,
But
it'd
that's
be
not,
something, right?
I don't think that's something that's going to, like, happen this
No.
iteration. But here's the thing. If the next Xbox gets, like, crushed by PlayStation,
They're getting crushed right now. They've been getting crushed for years, and there are no true exclusives. We've talked about this before for Xbox. Like, there's a couple, and you wouldn't want to play them.
That's true.
They say that there's going to be a new PSVR headset, which will be wireless. We talked about how
Oculus had done it.
Yeah, Facebook had came out with a new one that will be wireless. PlayStation is right up there. They're going to enhance it to 2560 to 1440 resolution, which will be an upgrade from the 1080p, just slightly a little bit better. 120 hertz, which will be phenomenal because higher refresh rate helps with the equilibrium issues and people basically having motion sickness. 220 degrees field of view. I think that's pretty fucking sweet. I don't know how much wider it can get, to be honest.
Yeah. 45-hour battery too.
Yeah, like that's
Sorry.
most people. No, that's fine. Most people I know, like 2 to 3 hours, they're done. Like it is, you're sweating. Like it's uncomfortable. Like you're just you're done. So 45-hour battery, that's great. That's multiple people being able to play and like switch off back and forth. And people will of course buy extra batteries if they're hardcore gamers and want to just continuously game.
I think PlayStation's hitting the right route.
Yeah,
Like if they focus, if their PSVR, because I know the first version's not terrible. Like it's pretty good.
it's great for an entry point.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think honestly that's true for most VR. There's very few VR that you're like, yeah, here's the golden fucking child. So
When I went and visited my sister-in-law when she worked at Oculus, I got to do their public demo.
Mhm.
To where I had like the like really large set on and a very open like room. It was it was pretty terrifying, honestly. Like because I'm afraid of heights, and at one point they had it appearing as though I was
walking
up,
across the bridge. Or...
no, like up on a skyscraper in some like steampunk industrial type city with lightning and shit, and I damn near fainted because I was like, holy fuck! I had to look up. I was like, I can do with the scenery. I can't look down.
Can't look down, yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, cool. Yeah. That's what I look forward to the future, as well as my holodeck. Where's my holodeck, yo? Come on, guys. You got Tupac.
With your flying car.
Right? They made Tupac come back. All right? Just make a room.
I think
that can make multiple holograms.
I think that is an...
How? Like, I get that it's hard. I get it's expensive. Just fucking do it. Like, I'm not saying it's cheap. I'm just saying people would spend money for it.
Super rich people would spend money.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
I mean,
and then
but
super
whales
rich
aren't
people
enough to sustain something.
Tell that to the gaming industry, brother.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's true. It's because there's a bunch of whales, I guess.
Yeah. DualShock 5 controller will have a built-in camera in order to assist you in VR. All of the extra cameras and sensors are basically going to help equate you to have less latency with the device. If you've seen people do Minecraft and stuff like that, they'll like throw torches to each other, and it's real fucking funny seeing them try to tweak out that latency. You know, someone throw it, and then like 2 seconds later, the person like turns around and goes to catch it, and it's like, yeah, you've gotta work on it, man. You gotta work on it. So more cameras, more sensors. That's the way basically to help out with VR. Oh my god. That's why I think the future will be you going to a place that's dedicated, that has all those sensors, that has that holodeck experience. You know. And of course, exclusives, because Sony. Gran Turismo 7, which will be for VR.
Isn't that a driving game?
Yes.
Well, that'll be fun.
For real, I hadn't actually played any VR games and driving. So
Yeah, I wonder how the controls.
Yeah, my buddy Jake's got the whole steering wheel, chair.
Damn.
Yeah, the whole.
He's not playing around.
He's really into it. Yeah. I wonder how that equates though.
Yeah, like
and you get multiple monitors because you want to have the whole field of view. You don't have to have any of that shit if you've just got the VR headset. Like,
right.
It's a very cheap replacement for someone that just wants to do car simulation.
And that like as you know, as much of a downgrade or side grade really the new Oculus headset is.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it would be kind of a good, like that's the wireless appeal of all this. Although this
Yeah.
requires the PlayStation 5, but the Oculus one's just kind of its own shtick.
Yep, no computer, no nothing. Just it's all built in. Same thing, all processor. Cool. Yeah, they're making it work for them.
They're trying.
There'll be a Last of Us 2 remaster. I love Last of Us. I just fucking hate it's not on the PC.
I've never played it.
It is a beautiful story-driven game, and it will.
Yeah.
I'm literally thinking about it right now, and it's jerking my tear ducts over here. Like, it's so good, Wade. It's so good. Like, it's just the wheels are turning when I'm thinking about the storyline. I'm just like, yeah. Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know what that game's about, but it's a remaster and people will like it because it's an exclusive.
We can look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Get it.
Well,
it's not released. Hands are too tight.
Oh, this is actually, I remember this now. So this is remarkably like the samurai game that we were watching on Twitch. Sekiro. It's your main character talks. And you're, following through a sort of traditional RPG storyline, but the combat is very similar in terms of like assassination, evasion. It's not
sword
to the
play and stuff.
Yeah, it's not to the extent of fucking that game. Because why force yourself through that kind of pain? But yeah.
Yeah, let's watch this thing because I've never. Oh wow, this is like.
I'll just skip through some, but yeah, it's impressive graphics.
See, it's hard for me to sometimes to be like, are these graphics impressive? I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest. There's a lot of things you just have to fucking look for. The things that I'm thinking about is you see all the wind. You see all these leaves.
True.
You see all the trees blowing. Like, there's so much stuff that's happening in the background and the foreground where, you just saw blood spurts. There's physics there. It's not a simple fucking death animation.
Yeah.
All of these plants are fucking bobbing and weaving. I love it when first-person shooter games give you way too much to look at, so you can't just wait for movement. Because I feel like that's how you know it's a really good game. Is like you can't just sit there and hunker down and wait for something to move. Because for example, in this game, everything's moving with the wind.
Yeah. See, I'm always one who looks at hair. I'm like, what's your hair look like?
For real, hair physics is definitely a thing.
And that's why I'm like, is that thing he's wearing straw or is it fur? It looks like straw.
It's straw. I was gonna say. What I was gonna say. No, I'm just trying not.
No.
Oh, see, that's It's remarkably similar though.
Oh, like you were saying, there's assassinations. Oh, except that's okay.
They've got a little bit more stealth,
like a dagger or something. I thought for a moment that he just like ripped his voice box and jugular out, and I was like, Jesus, that was a bit more hardcore than I was expecting.
But it's a big open world game, so you're not, I guess, forced down that specific RPG path, but it does have that traditional RPG element where you're going around communicating with people and picking up things to do. But we can skip to our next article.
Clarity ensues.
Yeah, so every week, now and forever, until one of them dies in a fire, we'll just talk about Anthem.
Oh boy. I mean, how much longer is this game gonna limp on?
It's funny because I truly believe that Fallout 76 would be the forefront of our discussions 24/7 when we started doing this podcast 3 months ago, because it was just like, man, there's just so much garbage that they're just trying to make that game stay alive. But man, Anthem just kicked that in the teeth and was like, hold my beer, bro, let me show you what I can do.
Well, now that you say that, I'm like, how is Fallout 76 doing?
It doesn't even matter because Anthem's just taking all the hate for it. Anthem's like, bro, you think Fallout 76 is bad? Let me show you how to piss off my community. Yeah. So they were supposed to do a developer live stream on Twitch, and they postponed it because they had internet connectivity issues. They said that their fiber cable was cut, and that their backup internet couldn't sustain a stream.
Who would cut the cable?
And I mean,
actually, I know
Anthem haters.
They cut their own cable.
Yeah,
they were like, "Fuck, this is the only thing we can do."
And I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people, you can call it a conspiracy or not, but because of the fact that they refused to release notes about what was going to transpire, they didn't want to have any communication about what was going to go on in that event. People were basically saying that they weren't prepared and that they were fucked up, basically, that they weren't ready to announce these 12 new features that were on the April roadmap. And they postponed it, a week passed, and it finally went up. And man, this stream was absolutely terrible.
Did you watch it?
I just watched the horrible bits. I just got there's a bunch of Reddit threads where you can just click on all the individual links where it's just like, do you think this is the way the community manager should respond to criticism? Like, he's a community manager. His job is to breed a positive environment between the developers and the consumers who are buying the game. It's his job to present the game in a positive fashion. If people in chat, through this Twitch live stream have questions, you should be trying to answer them. Basically, for an hour, they just ignored the fact that they were live streaming. They didn't talk about chat. They didn't read chat. And they admitted to being afraid of reading chat. And so
you fucked up when.
Yeah,
well, here's the thing, because my sister-in-law, I was talking to her about Reddit and about the gaming subreddits and things, and because we were talking about Destiny at the time, and she's like, I don't go on Reddit anymore because there's so much negativity on there.
Yeah.
So I mean, while it's really, really, really bad idea to not read chat and then admit that you're not reading chat, although Coming Clean's kind of okay, but I get where they're coming from, but you already...
It's your job to do
I
it,
know.
It's your job to do it. It's fine if the developers weren't doing it, but the community manager, his job is to facilitate that communication between the community and the developers, and he just said, fuck it. I ain't doing that. It became blatantly obvious, basically, that they didn't have any of the features that they were supposed to for April. I think they discussed 2 of the 12. 6 of them afterwards were removed from the April roadmap, meaning that it's confirmed we're not gonna fucking have this done.
These things can't happen.
Yeah. The community manager basically got fed up with everybody typing loot, because the only thing people care about is, why haven't you fixed the loot system? Why is it still garbage? Why is there no incentive to keep playing? What are you gonna fucking do about this? And, that was probably one of the things that they just weren't supposed to talk about. And it's well, too fucking bad. This is the only thing that the community cares about, and you haven't fixed it.
Because I'm not sure they know how to fix it.
Well, you better figure something out, because, it's just killing the game. Their lack of updates, their lack of communication, and then when they do have a live stream, the fact that their community manager just treats it the way he did. he became fed up and basically said that chat wasn't asking "quote unquote" the right questions.
Whoa.
What?
And it's
What
like,
are the right questions?
well, it's one of those things. It's like that means he was probably given a list.
Rampart.
Oh my god.
He's probably given a list of don't fucking talk about these things, and you can talk about these things. And it's like, well, you know, if you're just not going to come out and discuss the things that we want, yeah, chat's going to riot against you, and you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, that's what
and
happens.
you can sit there and pretend like it doesn't matter for an hour, but eventually you're going to look over there and realize you're live streaming, and no one's fucking happy with you.
For real, though.
Afterwards, after the stream, they posted a Reddit thread that would highlight all of the changes that were going to be made for April. And they started it off with, quote, "It's only been 10 weeks since the early access launch of Anthem." Now, there's kind of an interesting thing, but
guys, it's only been 10 weeks. You can't expect that.
here's the thing. Anthem is a $60 game. And if you want to buy the digital exclusive package, it's $80. Now, there was a preemptive thing where if you had got some stupid fucking pass, you could play it early for a couple days.
So you were basically like the last beta tester.
But it's a full game. It's not Steam early access. It's not greenlit. It's a AAA game that's been in development for 7 years. And the way they wanted to start it off was just remember, this is early access. That's what they're trying to make the implication.
So you're trying to say you haven't released this game?
They're trying to act like it's not a full-fledged product. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do except cover their ass and be like, well, you shouldn't have expected all this stuff to be done because it released in early access.
See, and
all of Reddit just was like, nope, press F to pay respects to BioWare, die in a fire, you're done, kill your game, like, just, we're done.
that's funny. I mean, sucks to sucks.
Yeah.
Whenever you release a hasty product, you get hasty product results.
Yeah.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. I can't imagine who's still playing Anthem. But
People who enjoy the combat system.
Sure, you could enjoy the combat system. It's just weird because if you can't get better loot, why fucking play?
You know, like
Use the basic weapons.
when I was playing
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is it's like I'm just gonna
Have
use
they
my
really
level
not
1
even
defender.
fixed that? They had like
I'm not even gonna try to figure it out. It's just like if loot is still an issue, then whatever the fuck is involved, whether it's the level 1 defender or the fact that they're not giving them upgrades, it means that the most basic aspects of your looter shooter don't fucking work.
Yeah.
In your $60 to $80 AAA 7 years in development, like
where did all that?
come on. But yeah, fucking Anthem, man.
There you go, BioWare.
Interesting. The Reddit subreddit isn't just r/Anthem. I thought that was interesting. It's Anthem the game. Apparently, there's a book called Anthem, and so they wouldn't want anybody to confuse the two.
Yeah, the Destiny subreddit is Destiny the game.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah. But it took me to like a weird screenshot, and it was like, yeah, did you mean to read the book or did you mean to find the game? And I was like, oh god, I meant to find this terrible game.
I feel bad though, because I mean, I used to like BioWare so much.
Look, it's okay.
Glory days of Mass
Yeah,
Effect.
it's okay to have liked the company and to appreciate their previous works, but you should also remember that the people who made those games probably don't fucking work there.
Yeah, they
anymore.
don't. And
So it's,
you know,
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay that you liked games that they previously made. That was a entirely different set of people. It just still has that same name, BioWare, you know? And, you know, there's still some people that are still working there that I'm sure touched on those original games. It's just not who you think, right?
Yeah.
It's not the lead designer or the lead artist or anything, right? It's like, oh yeah, remember Tommy? Yeah.
From
He's still here. Our next article is about Mr. Tim Sweeney. Tim Sweeney is, of course, the CEO of Epic, and per usual, everybody is salty about the Epic exclusivity. Tim Sweeney wanted to bring more attention to him, or he probably wanted to stop all of the hate he was getting from all of his social network. So he screamed on Twitter, basically, if Steam commits to a 12% share of revenue, I'll stop being an asshole with all these exclusivity deals, and we won't use all the Fortnite money to buy exclusivity deals.
So he's holding Steam hostage.
This is a reversal from his previous statements where he basically said he was proud of all the havoc he had created and that PC consumers deserve a better store that isn't bogged down by anime titties. I think the internet disagrees. Anime titties are great for the internet, and you can look at Steam Store to verify. But, Tim Sweeney's trying to make Steam to be out the bad guy. He's trying to say that, Steam's taking too much money from those hard-earned developers. And me, Tim Sweeney, I'm here to save the day.
But it's the publishers that are doing those deals.
Exactly.
I'm here to take less money so they side with me.
Yeah.
I'm here to try to cut into a market that Steam has very, very much so cornered because Gabe listens to... Well, he hasn't 100% listened to the internet, but, anytime Steam fucks up, like when they were trying to do the paid months thing, he literally came out and was like, hey... We messed up. Yeah. We're not doing it now. We hear you. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And everyone responded. But like this is like I love because Steam hasn't really said anything about this.
The only thing they've said is that they felt like it was unfair for game developers at the last second to remove their game from Steam in order to put it on the Epic Store, because they had been using Steam's advertisement to state that it was going to be on Steam.
That's true.
So now people are going to go to Steam and be like, why isn't the fucking game there? And they just have to hold up a page saying, hey, these developers at the last second, specifically with like Metro Exodus, decided to be like, hey, the deal's sweeter over here. That's the only thing they've said about it. And to be honest, that's probably the best thing for them to do, is just say, we'd appreciate it if you just didn't dick us at the last second.
Yeah, and...
like, that's just kind of being civilized about it.
For real. And it's almost as if, like, Epic has given themselves enough rope to hang themselves with.
Most certainly.
Because, I mean, like I said, Steam's position on this, I don't really hear anyone being upset with Steam over this, but...
and Steam specifically has talked about they give... people Steam keys for free. So if you buy from the developer, meaning you go to like the developer site, they will give you a Steam key. You will get the game on Steam, and 100% of that money goes to the developer.
Right.
It's just when you go through the Steam interface to buy it on Steam that they take their cut from their store, which is how they operate as a business, because if you haven't noticed, Steam hasn't made games in a while.
Because they were like, we make way more fucking money just selling this shit and creating a great platform.
That's been their business model, and that's how they operate. So it's so silly, this whole entire conversation. And honestly, if the Epic Store didn't have security flaws, had two-factor authentication, had cloud saves, and had offline mode, it would be a completely different conversation. People wouldn't be like so hurt by the idea that you're just throwing money and forcing games onto another site, because it would be secure and it wouldn't be fucking terrible and it would have basic features.
Yeah, if you were giving us a decent product to compare to Steam with that had the things that we've grown accustomed to via Steam, we might have a chance.
And competition's always good. No matter what, it's always good. It's
means
better
lower prices.
It's better for us that you're trying to compete in the market. So I'm fine with you doing that. It's just stupid the way you've done it.
You're spending all this money to get exclusivity on short-term contracts for the most part, because I haven't seen anything that's only ever going to be...
Yeah, 6 to 1 year. It's 6 months to 1 year.
So
it's like,
you're throwing
it's not permanent. It's
all
not,
that money
yeah,
at those developers, but you're not even trying to fix your own platform when you could be funneling that money into your platform for a better, stronger actual release.
Yeah, we need way more updates on on the building of the platform before we really care about what exclusivities are on there.
Yeah, like sometimes, listening to the community is the better option.
Yes.
I know you do get a lot of bullshit, so it makes it easy to write off listening to people, but
it really tickles me to death when I look at a social network, because it's like, you put a shit-eating grin on your face and said, good, I'm glad everybody's upset. And man, it's not even a month later. Look at you, turn tail and run and say, you know what, if you guys would just shut the fuck up, I swear I'll stop doing it. You know what I think, though? I think it's because they've probably blown through the vast majority of their budget that's assigned specifically for exclusivity deals.
Probably.
So there's going to come a point in time in which they say, okay,
I don't know.
That
budget's going to be huge, because if that's their actual game plan,
it makes sense for the start of the opening of the Epic Store. It doesn't make sense to do it continuously down the line, because although Fortnite's good, it's not like Fortnite makes more money every day. Fortnite makes less money every day. The whole purpose of this is for them to divide up their financial assets and find ways to invest into things. So this is a great investment for the Epic Store, is to spend that money for exclusivity deals. But they also need to work on literally fucking everything else.
Yeah, you can't just... This one piece of the pie is not the whole pie.
Yeah.
Also, the more important piece of the pie is producing a good product.
And if Tim Sweeney really wants to help out developers, just realize that his net worth is $7 billion. So he can just write someone a fucking check just like Bill Gates.
Yeah, fund a new studio then.
Yeah, help them out with your money if the issue is money.
But, you shouldn't be taking, a high ground stance like that whenever...
No. I don't know. He's not moral. It's not on his side. Shout out to Adult Swim.
Good show.
Yep. Our next article is Minecraft got an update called Village Pillage.
Are there Vikings?
I don't think there are Vikings.
Then there is...
But I think the idea is that you can go pillage. You yourself can be the Viking.
Go pillage other
The
people's
Viking
stuff?
is you?
The Viking is you. Yeah.
Who will I get to row my ship? Can I take slaves?
Have you played Minecraft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, they're saying village and pillage, and you're saying I can be a Viking.
I never used the word Viking. You used the word Viking. They specifically added things like bamboo blocks, barrels for storage, musical bells, berries, bushes with berries, a composter, crossbows, cartography table, a fletching table,
Cat taming.
new outposts,
I love how
traders,
he just said, fuck everything else.
campfires, cat taming, new decorative blocks, and a rework of the visual appearances of villages.
Tell me more about cat taming.
I will tell you more about cat taming. Let's scroll through our article to see about cats. Cat and ocelot split.
Ocelots too?
Yep.
Baboon.
Stray cats can be tamed. Tamed cats can give lovely or less lovely morning gifts to their owners.
Oh boy.
Ocelots cannot be tamed, but might start trusting you if you feed them with fish. Phantoms are terribly scared of cats. How convenient. So you can keep cats around so you don't have to worry about ghosts trying to pick you
So,
up.
the ancient Egyptians were right, according to Minecraft.
Yes.
Okay.
Cat collars can now be dyed, and there's several new cat skins.
Wait, you skin cats?
No, the look of the cat. The skin is different.
Oh wow, and you don't have to pay money for those cat skins? Oh, amazing.
Isn't it weird how Microsoft bought a game and didn't put microtransactions in
Yeah,
it?
and they made the game better.
And it's for kids. Isn't it weird how they didn't exploit children for
It's
money?
almost like Microsoft has an ethical standard in their business practices.
Isn't it weird that Bill Gates owns Microsoft, but he has ethics and morals?
Didn't he steal a bunch of shit to start the company, though?
Man, you should see his early interviews, though. You know what he did in the early days? He just phoned people up and asked them for help. That's just literally what he did. He called people and said, hey, I'm a poor college student. I don't have any of this. I'm trying to do this thing. Can you help me? And they were like, sure. That sounds like an interesting project. and then bam, Bill Gates was born. Fucking Microsoft. Like,
I mean, Microsoft's cool. I don't.
he makes it sound so simple though. He's like, seriously, like, if you see interviews, he'll tell people, just call someone. Like, he's like, just pick up the phone and have a phone conversation with someone. Don't write an email. Pick up the phone and call. And I'm like, I assume that's just all he has to do on a day-to-day basis, though, because someone picks up the phone and they're like, "Hi, who is this?" And he's like, "Bill Gates."
Well, I mean,
and they're like, "You have my attention."
I mean, yeah. I wonder how many phone calls he makes a day.
I don't know. I mean, he's all about
Charities and saving the world.
They just did the malaria drug.
What if Bill Gates became Iron Man?
They just did the malaria drug that's going to Africa. So props to him.
He also did an AMA about turning your like somehow recycling water. I can't remember, like from waste.
Interesting. Yeah. He's just trying to figure out.
Oh, because it's green screen. Because it's green.
That actually works awesomely.
I wonder if the darts will be able to be registered when they're getting shot.
Probably just the tip, because the tip's orange.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, I wonder if it would fly, like, as it's flying, would it?
Just
Look at that.
Just the tip.
I can manipulate time and space. My very fingertips. Okay.
But yeah, our next article is about Overwatch Ads Workshop.
I really don't know too much about this, so if you want to talk about it, feel free. This was the article that I was attempting to read that was showing all of the
actual things that you can do from the techno-babble standpoint.
Yeah, you can actually, like, write in scripts to change the way abilities work. You can even build, like, a test hero kind of a thing. You can create your own hero almost in there. Like someone made Roadhog's hook pull him.
Yep.
Which was terrifying to see how quickly that Roadhog was moving around a map. I was legitimately like, that is cool, and I don't ever want to see that.
It's like making him use it like as a grappling hook, so he turns into fucking Spider-Man.
Spider-Pig.
Yeah, I was like,
actually, I think that's one of the comments on Reddit.
Is dope.
Yeah.
Like, awesome.
Because I mean, the most of what I've seen for this has been on Reddit, because I just want to play with my friends most of the time. But someone was like, this is the way I think a lot of movement abilities should affect heroes. And they had like Brigitte, she has a mace and she can whip it out and knock people back, and it extends like X amount of feet. Well, he was like, I feel like if you do it at the ground, it should knock her up. And I'm not going to lie, the very first time I played her, I tried that because I thought that would work. He made it to where Lucio's boop would push Lucio back as well. So, like, if you're in midair and you boop down, it'll, like, give you an extra...
Dude.
Yeah, I was like, I would like that very much.
Yes, more play with the physics in Lucio. That'd be dope.
But then they also did, like, Bastion. Shooting at the ground would, like, launch him up to where he was, like, a flying rocket of doom. It was terrifying. I was like, fuck no, I never want that to be a thing, ever.
I don't know. I love... That sounds awesome. Just, like... More propulsion on all the characters.
It's really a testament to the things you can do with it, though.
Oh,
Indeed.
yeah, for sure.
But people have made so there's a custom game called Anna Paintball, and they cut your health down to 25 health. They make regular shots from Anna do 20 damage, and they make the sleep dart do 5.
Right.
And he made a whole bunch of custom rule sets for it, to where people who like got like X kills in a row, it would look like they were literally on fire because a character now has an ability to set people on fire.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't do damage, but you would have a visual indicator of like, this person's fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And then whoever would be in like first place would get an arrow over their head that you could like track around the map to hunt down the first place player.
It seems like that would be really good for what do you call it, like replays and tournaments when they're doing live streams. If you could have that on your end, like if you could physically see as the spectator or the caster, like, hey, this person's literally on fire, like they've gotten the 5 kill streak or whatever, cool. Like That's super neat.
They
I like how
do like have the portraits light up and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like the interface, the UI that they put on for your viewing will like indicate.
But you know what I
that.
mean, like because you're from like a third person perspective as the spectator if you're not like locked on to somebody. So it'd be cool if like as you're literally spectating, like oh look that Pharaoh's fucking on fire. Like that's cool though. I like
People
all
are
the
talking about
tools.
trying to make gun game.
Yes.
And like Inventory, you're a Torb with only your hammer, and you have to kill someone with your hammer.
Oh, yeah, I'd totally do that. Yeah. Yep.
See, like and for the longevity of Overwatch, because it has kind of stagnated some. It's the Overwatch League. I feel like helped bring it back a little bit, but this is great for the longevity of the game.
Any type of modding will just be huge for this game. I really think they should have a fucking map designer. I don't know what's up with them not having something like that.
You mean like a map editor?
Yeah,
because they don't. I don't think they want to let you do that yet.
Well, just on custom again, just on this custom thing.
All I care about is that someone makes a zombies game from like Halo Reach, and I get to play it on Overwatch. That's all I want to do now.
Yeah,
somebody's better at this. Please do it.
Please. I saw on Reddit that they were for some reason they had a thread about the Warcraft 3 world editor, and I was like, I spent thousands of hours in that thing. Like, just to like nerd out here for a second, this is how bad I was when I was playing Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne Wave. I would go online.
I remember.
I would go to find a game that I'd want to play. I would enter the room. Once you enter the room, you have to download the map if you haven't downloaded it. I would download the map, and then I'd leave before the game would start. I would then open it in the world map editor. I would go in, create a new folder, and I would just create fucking cheat commands. And then I would host the game and have people play with me. And then if I was just fucking losing, I'd just whisper to myself or to the enemies fucking cheat commands so I could get gold or extra stats.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, because I had so much time in that fucking world map editor that I was like, I know how to do everything. Like, it's so easy. I would open people's games to figure out, like, where's the secret stuff? Like, where do you have, like, hot points? Where do you have stuff that spawns items and stuff like that? And the custom hero builder was, like, my favorite fucking thing. I don't know if you ever played the custom hero builder, but it was literally, you could pick any model, and you could pick any ability. If someone else picked that ability, you couldn't pick it, though. If someone else picked that model, you couldn't pick it, though. So just think about like any of the fucking skills that you want in any combination. You want invisibility, you want immolation, it just didn't matter. And then everybody got to pick one ultimate. And I would always do the I'm trying to remember the guy's name. There was a Blade Master that could do the mirror image, and I was like, at the end game when you're doing a hero character, having like 3 or 5 fucking versions of you that all have like 25% HP.
It was pretty good.
Is fucking broken, yeah. But I hope that they can like work their way back up to that golden era of having the community support their game by doing the fucking work for them. Like,
I mean, that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, this is like the major fucking entry point.
I really need to start checking out and see what people have, because dude, some of that stuff looks freaking awesome.
I saw people basically trying to recreate the CS:GO style surfing with
Lucio.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, like just more of this.
That would be so great.
That will get me way back into the game where I have no interest in competitive, and when you don't play for a while, it's like I just hate to have to play all these warm up matches. But if I can just go into something that's, you know, like that, it's just
That's why you play Mystery Heroes, Brian.
You know,
those are your warm up games, and you get free loot boxes
for sure. But this is something I would definitely bring me like on a normal basis.
Yeah,
I want to go fuck around with whatever weird thing someone's created. Mystery Heroes doesn't really do it for me. I just get frustrated that I'm like got the hero that I suck at again. And it's like, well, just fucking be better then.
just win.
Yeah,
forehead.
It's not that hard, okay? And then that's actually it for all of our articles. And does Sir Rutcond have any
Special eBay listings for us.
No special eBay listings, but I have a regular one.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like to check that out.
Okay.
So this is Donkey Kong Country Blockbuster Video Game Championship Edition.
Competition cartridge.
Yes.
Yep.
So it had a limited number of levels.
Ooh.
And I actually... Oh, do you have it right there? Have an entry for it here in the Super NES Omnibus. So let's see what it has to say about
Gather the tomes of knowledge.
We were actually going through this last night. Fucking Eric came home and it was, I don't even know.
Was this last night?
I
was like, what? You weren't here that late.
Maybe it was the day before. I don't remember. Was it Friday? I don't know.
Yeah, no, because Eric... No, yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah.
It wasn't last night, because Eric came home with his nephew. So it was before that.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's the same thing in the book. The Donkey Kong Country Blockbuster World Video Game Championship 2. Here in the SNES Omnibus. Also known as the Donkey Kong Country Competition Cartridge, this special edition game was originally used for the Nintendo Power Fest 94 tournament, where it was employed as the final competition between the two remaining competitors, the winner of which was crowned the 1994 Nintendo World Champion.
So wait, there was only one of these made then?
No, there was a lot of them made.
Oh, okay.
For the competition, there was only a few made, but afterwards... they offered through Nintendo Power sending in to get your own. So,
okay. That's very good to know.
So the print run was 2,500 copies for the ones through Nintendo Power,
Okay, so
and
it's
that's
not-
what this one
it's
was
not
for.
Super rare then.
Yeah. So
Somewhat rare.
I wonder what a regular print run of an NES cartridge is.
probably way more. Several.
I don't
do
know
you
if it's
think-
way more.
Because I was going to say, I would have thought, I would say 5,000. That's a lot of fucking cartridges, right?
Yeah, but this 2,500 was what this is.
Right, and
Half that.
that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating the popularity.
So I love on the top of this cartridge, resale rental of the game pack is prohibited.
Right.
I wonder if that.
And he's literally breaking the law right now.
Well, I have a feeling that there was a
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations, or once it's considered a collector's item, it's available for resale.
That would be interesting.
There's got to be something on there. Otherwise, Nintendo would be so far up this dude's ass.
Well,
They're very, very...
sure, but I mean, it's Donkey Kong from World Video Game
From
Championship
94.
from 94.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're really trying to take down all those YouTube videos.
Right? Oh my gosh.
So gameplay is similar to the first. Oh wait, okay. In 1995, it was used for the Blockbuster World Video Game Championship 2. After that, cartridges were sold exclusively to subscribers of Nintendo Power. According to the back of the paper insert, Nintendo only produced 2,500 copies, making it hard to find and extremely valuable today.
So this was literally in the back of a magazine. You cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You've fucking mailed that shit in. Man, it's been that's a thing that the next generation won't do.
Yep.
If they do, it'll be for rebates, Wade.
I even forget my rebates now.
Why?
So gameplay is similar to the first Donkey Kong Country.
Because I'm bad.
I'm sorry, please
I'm
continue.
bad.
Gameplay is similar to the first Donkey Kong Country, but a 5-minute timer was added that freezes the game when the clock runs out. The player's goal is to score as many points as possible within that time limit. Only 11 levels are playable, 8 of which are chosen at random each time. Levels include Jungle Hijinks, Reptile Rumble, Ropey Rampage. Nobody knows the names of those levels, so nobody actually cares about me naming them off. But after you beat it, the action proceeds directly to the next level without showing the map. Another difference is that banana bunches replace animal tokens. So there'd be animal tokens that you would get to become a specific animal, and you'd have special movement abilities. And those tokens were replaced with just more bananas.
Bananas.
So, do we have more?
I mean, there's more information, but it was just about the quotes about it.
Yeah.
So,
Some
really.
Some of the quotes in that book are fucking hysterical because they're modern quotes about old games. So it's just people being like really vicious about
This
it.
is a dated piece of shit.
Seriously, like it'll be like YouTube 2005. I'm like, wow.
So 2,500 copies made.
Yep,
Box plus game. How much do you think?
$1,000.
$250. Wow.
$39.99.
We're bad at this.
We are really bad at this. Honestly, I felt like mine was somewhat reasonable.
They currently have 3 available. 6 were sold. So people,
Okay. Well,
if you just want the game without the case, $31.99.
That's so bizarre
That's
though,
hilarious.
because it's such a short run. Can you imagine if it was a book?
bro, I bet this kind of. Oh wait.
Like if it was a book, that'd be worth a fucking fortune. If
What
you
do you
only
mean?
had 2,500 copies of a fucking book for a collector, that's heaven. And in video games,
Especially
it means.
because back from '94.
Do you think it's just because we can
25
emulate this
years.
stuff now that it just doesn't fucking matter?
I honestly
No,
have no idea.
it's because it's only 25 years. Hear me out. There's still a lot of these. This dude has 3 available, and he sold 6.
I
So
mean,
he had
I get-
9.
I get that from his perspective. He has, a allotted amount. It's not like every person's just holding one, trying to get a fortune for it as a collector. But I don't know. I'm kind of
Skeptical about the price?
no. I just have like a bad taste in my mouth that it's not worth more
Oh, okay.
because I'm like it's part of fucking gaming history, and they're like, $40.
I think it's maybe because it is such like a minuscule, like it's such a footnote, so to speak, in gaming history.
And it's
I
not the
guess.
full game. Like, it's just like...
But
it's
that's
like,
but yeah,
why
that's
it's like buying a
special,
demo.
it's a special fucking version.
That's true.
For a competition that only occurred twice.
Now, see, if there were only like 10 of these
Mm-hmm.
out, I can guarantee you they'd be worth a shitload more.
Sure.
But I feel like that 2,500, that volume really, it's, and only being 25 years, it's not like 1,000 copies are getting lost a year. Or
I don't know.
not
I
1,000,
wonder.
100.
Yeah, I wonder how many I wonder how many of my Nintendo Entertainment or Super Nintendo games you're on viewing and not editing.
No,
What
it's...
is it? Oh.
Oh, did our interwebs go down?
Bum 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 bum.
My phone's still on Wi-Fi.
No, we're fine. Just us trying to connect. You are on viewing and not editing now. Go to the top right.
You fool.
Click no. Skylar. Yep, click on viewing. Go to editing. Cool. Nope, still reconnecting. It should say retconned. It's not. Shouldn't be saying reconnecting. It should just state your name. All right. Well, I guess you don't get to put in the eBay listing for this week. How dare you?
I tried.
That's
You can
okay.
look it up. We talked a lot about it.
Yeah. I wonder how cheap just normal NES games are. Like they're like $10 fucking.
It depends. I can guarantee you there will be some NES games that will be ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there will be stuff that there are a lot more copies, like a lot more available copies, but there will also be quite a few, like more popular games
Mhm.
that there is less of a selling market for, to where people might actually want to hold on to them, not because like nostalgia / collection.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And also, this, like I said, it's a weird. It's super niche. It's so niche. It's not valuable almost. Not that it's not valuable, but like it doesn't have a,
it's not like Donkey Kong's like all the rage right now either.
right.
If it was topical, I guess it'd be worth more. I was just thinking like
Tropical Freeze came out like a year ago, and it's like one of the more popular games on Switch, but I guess Switch isn't.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Tropical Freeze. That doesn't even whatever.
It's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It's like a frozen...
You're a tropical.
Your mom's a tropical... Oh, wait. I don't want to eat your mom.
well, I'm glad we got there. Media recommendations for this week. Have y'all watched anything good? Television, movies?
I mean,
I really want to steal one of yours.
That's fine. You can talk about either of them.
I've been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Season 2 in Japanese, and it's been good stuff. I've been enjoying it. A lot of it watched today.
was gonna say, what starts at season 2? Like, what's the?
It's I'm sorry, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Jotaro, like the second season main character.
Mhm.
Joseph Joestar. It's Joseph Joestar's grandson.
Oh, okay. So he's like the high schooler that looks like he's fucking 30.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess he's the one who's in the jail cell at the very beginning and shoots himself, and his stamp.
I mean,
stops
he looks super. It's comical. Like he should. They do not attempt to make him look like a young person who's supposed to be in high school.
Yeah, it's
Instead,
like
they
Yu Yu
make him
Hakusho.
it's just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, he does the Hulk thing. He catches the bullet, right?
Yeah.
A+. Love that show. And it's just so comical. Like even when I stepped in and there was a leprechaun running around, trying to catch something, it was just fucking fun. Like
He threatened to eat a man's testicles.
yes,
That is
he
a threat.
did.
It's a real one.
Viewers.
Yeah,
That's
and
a threat.
That's JoJo
If somebody
for
threatens to
you.
eat your balls, you need to run away.
Yeah, for real. And
Well, no. If a tiny little leprechaun does, because say in a more intimate scenario, that could be quite pleasurable.
It really depends on how literal they're being. You really that's the point right there. Know how literal your partner's being. If your partner is a doll,
or if your partner's Hannibal Lecter, you just need to know if they're literally going to go in on it.
yeah. But if you're into your balls being eaten and swallowed, then
Yeah,
we're not going to judge.
all power to you.
Yes. So, what did you have on your plate, Calabashed? You were mentioning one of Ask Davis.
Gee, I wonder which one it is.
I'm sure it's the one that's on the top, right?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
the first one?
Yeah, no, of course not. I mean, One Punch Man Season 2. Oh, yeah, and Game of Thrones. Fuck Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, we've been watching Game of Thrones.
We haven't been talking about that shit at all. Skeet, skeet, skeet. This dude doesn't watch it, but skeet, skeet, skeet. Yes, I love that shit. Like,
Season's
it's
been
so
good stuff.
good. Everyone's been bitching, but guess what? It's back, so shut up and enjoy it. It's the last season. Why do you want to just rage?
This upcoming
Think I'm,
episode
like,
actually has the
6
record for
seasons
the
behind?
longest.
Yeah,
well,
it's-
supposedly has the record for longest battle in cinema history.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 36 minutes long.
So you know
Wow.
what?
Yeah, I'm fucking excited. It's going to be intense, and so many characters I love and have watched for years are going to die.
So do you know what the previous record holder was?
Battle of the Bastards.
Yep, also Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So they're just outdoing themselves.
Oh, that's
Hey, we're going to one-up ourselves and all.
yeah. Hey,
Oh, man.
they gotta get
So
those
excited
gold
for tonight.
records. Yeah.
They do. Oh, man.
Actually, not even tonight. It's probably already been showing at this point.
Yeah,
So we're actually going to go watch it after.
Oh, no, I'm
That's
probably
right.
gonna, I'm probably going to wait till tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting?
Because I have a girlfriend.
Well, then I'm watching it tonight.
That's
so
fine.
you have fun listening to that.
You've betrayed him.
Well, here, I'll talk to her beforehand, because she was like, I might not want to wait. And I was like,
Oh my, man.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, One Punch Man Season 2.
Oh, is that what you wanted to talk about?
I did.
Okay.
I really wanted to steal that because I came in with extremely low expectations because of all the changes that happened with the show.
Viz taking over from Funimation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I won't lie. Honestly, and as weird as this sounds, I feel like as the show is going on, the animation's getting a little better, or I might just be finding myself not being as critical of it.
Season 2 definitely has better quality. I don't know about each individual episode increasing in like fidelity, but like you can tell when they're having like battle sequences that it's like, dude, you spent time, you put the effort in, like A+ guys.
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel like season 1 at least was a lot more visually pleasing to me than season 2 has been.
Yeah.
But season 2 is fantastic because it is so close to the manga still. Like, they are still sticking pretty damn close to it, and it is very entertaining still. They're playing up their comedy chops a little bit, I think.
for sure.
But I can deal with that.
I love the whole thing with King, like the whole storyline there, like absolutely adorable.
Saitama's been saving him, and he's been riding his coattails without even knowing it.
I just love that
No, I mean spoilers.
Sure. I just love that the resolution, though, is that he just goes over there and plays video games with the guy.
Yep.
Like, That's how he handles that situation.
Oh man,
he's such a bro.
There, he is. Saitama's just the broest, and it's really fun because, I mean, I'm not going to directly spoil anything, but the intricacies between their relationship gets like a little deeper as the season will go on. It's been really fun reading the manga. I still haven't read the new issue. It's been a while. It's been like 2 weeks now.
I've never read any of the issues.
You should. It's really good.
I'll just wait for anime.
I mean, honestly, normally I'd be like, no, you should read it. Oh, I don't know, actually. This is like the only manga I've ever really read.
Oh, well, that's even weirder.
Yeah, I love it.
And this, because...
Oh, wait.
It's like the second... Yeah, it's like the second time they've done it, too.
Because the first one was...
One Punch Man 1, like, the art style is like, when you see, what's her name? The psychic
It's
chick.
really interesting that this is, like, your intro, though. Like, it's just... It's a parody of the art style.
I know. It appeals to me because I've watched so many animes now that like it harping on a lot of tropes and stuff, and in general making fun of itself. It's pretty great.
It's just super ironic that that's your intro to the game. I like it though. I dig it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the very first anime I ever even watched was Cowboy Bebop and like Gundam Wing, all that stuff that was on Toonami when we were like kids.
Yeah, Gundam. For real.
I remember being really confused when I watched Adult Swim for the first time and there was like blood and cursing in Gundam Wing. I was like, this wasn't on the earlier episode tonight. What's going on?
Not at all.
Oh wait, I think I might have read one of those. I can't remember. I'll still probably just read it again.
But yeah, One Punch Man Season 2, a couple episodes are out.
I think it's like 3.
Yep, 3.
Yeah, I think they come out every Wednesday. But yeah, I approve. We all approve.
Good stuff.
Yep, great stuff. Good comedy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the fight scenes are still pretty good.
Yeah. I've been watching a TV show called The Good Doctor. This show's actually been out for like 2 years, I think.
I want to check it out now.
Yeah.
After your recommendation.
Okay, so have you heard about the show, Wade?
Yeah, I mean, you've told me about it, but
Okay,
that's about all I got going on it.
Man, I love the premises of the show. It's done by the same guy who did House. So it's a medical show about someone who's, super genius basically, and he's going to solve all your problems. But, same thing with House. They're not exactly the most ordinary person, so it creates all kinds of havoc and problems. Specifically, the main character is autistic, but he's also a savant. So he's got all of the intelligence that he needs in order to do his job. He just can't communicate properly like a normal individual would to somebody else. And he's a surgeon. And so, like, first fucking episode, it's like they don't even want to fucking hire the guy because, how are you going to have a surgeon who's autistic? Like, it really puts forward the questions about whether you're willing to hire someone despite any disabilities or whatever that they have. Yeah. And the only reason that it happens is the president of the hospital puts his job on the line. So the entire time you're watching this, it's basically like, yeah, if this guy fucks up, like, not only is he fired, but like the guy who does the hospital is basically going to forfeit.
You hadn't told me that previously, so it's just like House and Cuddy.
Yes, it's remarkably similar. It's just it's really just a different character. Like I was saying before, it's a teaching hospital, so they have the same thing, little groups of people that are going to come in and try to learn from something. I've only watched the first season, but I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden I was either A, at a different hospital, or B, with a different group of people. I just can't emphasize how it's so well-intentioned and good-spirited, where people would try to go out of their way to make fun of this guy, and this guy ends up just saving everybody's life and not giving a shit about what anybody else thinks. And I don't know, it's such a great show to sit there and watch, and you just like feel better about the fucking world afterwards.
Feels good, man.
Yeah. One of the episodes I was watching, they thought that a person was a terrorist because they had chemical burns on the inside of their throat. And it's just like the fucking wheelhouse of them trying to determine whether or not the person that they're treating is like a liar and is like a terrorist to the United States.
Turns out they ate a pigeon.
Right, or if they just have some weird fucking thing that they can't like pinpoint all the dots to understand. And, you know, you've got a guy that's literally a savant in one corner trying to figure it all out. And it doesn't matter what he says. No one wants to fucking listen to him. But he's not always right either. So it's not like just like 100% of the time. Like, people make fucking mistakes. And it's great because he just straight up calls them out on it because he doesn't have any physical barriers that would prevent you from saying it. So he goes up to surgeons and he's like, "You're arrogant. Does that make you a better doctor?" Or he'll be like, "You messed up. Does that mean you should go home?" Like, he says stuff that, like, it's true, but normally you wouldn't just, like, instantly fucking vocalize that. And the doctors don't know what the hell to do about it, because it's just like, wow, like, you know, I wouldn't say that, but he's fucking right. Like, you fucked up. You should go home. Like, you should take the rest of the day off. And, you know, if he's saying it, we're all thinking it, you know? But yeah, it's a very good spirited show. Check it out. It's called The Good Doctor. But I think that's it for me for media recommendations, except for the thing that everybody is waiting to see in movie theaters, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it, so
I know. I'm not going to obviously talk about it.
I've seen it Wednesday.
But yeah, go see Avengers
Oh, Mr.
Endgame.
Roger just dies. I'm sorry to spoil that one for you.
Yeah, he's been dead
Rip.
for a long
Rip
time.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. Sorry to spoil that.
But he dies
His
again.
red sweater never fade.
Yeah, he dies again, though. That's the sad part. When you go back in time and come back, just everybody dies all over again. Hitler
Also,
too, and-
but I'm not going to give away the Bob Ross spoiler.
Oh, yeah. You know, shh. Bob
He turns
Ross.
into a... He's now Groot.
I'd pay money to see that.
Oh my
Bob
god.
Ross as Groot.
I was trying to spoil.
And just, you know, he's
Can you
on
imagine
his...
like the fro, but it's
Yeah.
just like a bush.
And, like, they're about to fight, and he's like, 1 second, he has to, like, finish the painting, and he's painting them, like, the whole thing.
Doing it in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my headcanon now.
Yep.
Groot's just Bob Ross.
That's all you need.
Happy tree friend.
Okay, so let's have a serious conversation about Endgame. How was Ant-Man's colonoscopy? Oh, God.
Colonoscopy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Colonoscopy.
I'll tell you one thing. There is a lot of conversation about butts in the movie.
That's fun. This is going to be really funny then.
Ant in the butt?
And we can go ahead and stop there if you would stop the recording.
Yep.
Mr.
Y'all have a
Bye.
wonderful night.